With us in studio today is the one and only Duncecap.
Hey, how you doing?
Rapper, producer, depression nap taker. He is recording for Backwoodz Studioz, Fused Arrow, part of the Karma Kids. Any of this ringing a bell?
No.
Do you remember any of this stuff?
No, none of it.
It's fantastic. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How's your brat summer going?
You know, good. I listened to Brad,
Sure, of course.
so I know what that means.
All right, fantastic.
Good stuff. Did you hear the other song with Billy Eilish?
I have heard it, but I can't say that I've listened to it twice.
The color of my underwear.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's a catchy one.
Oh,
Brad Summer's okay.
Brad Summer's right. I'm not mad at it.
Just more of the same, you know?
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the vibe. But there's other things that come out this year.
Yes.
You've had a pretty prolific year so far, so to speak. Starting with in January, Player Dispute for Backwoodz.
It's true.
Very clear album to me. Kind of encapsulates the idea of anxiety.
Yeah.
Really well. Kind of sort of the mundane workaday life and how anxiety can take over.
Yeah.
And really, what is it? What sort of headspace were you in putting this one together?
I mean, I feel like I'm always working a lot, kind of haphazardly navigating dating and trying to work on myself while also, you know, like trying to make good art. So I think there's a lot of that tangled together in that. I mean, like, I'd say to a certain degree, like those are just things I always talk about, and it really matters where I'm at in my life and my experiences and what I've learned that gives different perspective and, you know, kind of informs the sound of the record and just the style. So that project has been, you know, kind of in a final stage for a while before it got released. And it definitely paints portraits of just like, I guess, how I thought of things for anxiety or dating, like over the course of several years, actually. But I feel like, ironically, or maybe not ironically, but, you know, now that it's released, it's like I'm just excited for the next thing, and I feel like I've just grown so much in the time that it took to actually release that album. So,
and that's always the thing people don't really realize. Like a lot of these projects, they get recorded, they get either done or close to completion, and then figuring out when it's going to come out, what sequence, how these things are going to be, can be a different process. I know.
yeah.
So, but it still speaks to your state of mind, and as you said, like it also, you know, reflects other records that you've done in the past in terms of thematic content. Do you feel like by doing records like this one, like Player Dispute, is it therapeutic at all? Are you actually getting any therapeutic benefit out of kind of spilling your guts this way?
I mean, yeah, but like also no, like
But also no.
But okay, so yes, because it's, you know, absolutely, you know, journalistic and like a way to let it out, but also no in the way that it's like I don't know if you've had this experience with like a therapist. Like for me personally, like talk therapy isn't necessarily the most helpful in the long term. It's like kind of like at a certain point you're like, okay, what are we doing here? Like I could vent to anybody theoretically, and you know, if they're respectful and, you know, whatever, they listen, then it's going to be good. But I think what's really valuable is like having a game plan, you know, outside of therapy. Like I guess I feel like I haven't grown through all these topics in a certain way because I don't know, maybe it's just life experience, but I feel like at this point, I guess that's how I felt about, you know, coming back to the same topics. And I think I'll probably keep talking about them, but like I said, like in a way where it's like, I've grown, I continue to grow and inform myself. And I think with that comes new music, like stuff to come, you know?
Sure. And obviously with this, like this is a largely self-produced project.
Yeah.
So you're working through stuff, and I wanted to kind of speak to that because it must be a bit isolating to kind of do it this way. Like when you're working with outside producers, at least there's some, I know quite like Chris is on the record as a producer, but for the most part, these are your beats. So like what is it like kind of just taking this and it being truly like yours in pretty much every facet?
It's a different experience working on a project. I really value having albums that I produce, or, you know, I, like you said, like Quelle produced, Head Trip produced on that project.
Yeah.
It's like working with other producers allows me to do less work, and it's less control I have, which is healthy. And it also gives me a place to give 100% of my energy to writing and how I want that to be, I guess, portrayed, or what I want to talk about. Whereas like, I think when I'm doing 100 things at once, like producing, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I need to write to this. So I'm going to write to this right now. And just because I've been writing since I was like 15 years old,
Sure.
I've always been doing like journalistic kind of stuff. And that's always what will come out if I need to make music. So I think moving forward, I'm just trying to be more intentional. But I do feel like, I think it's self-isolating, really, you know, and I think that's probably, if I'm just to analyze myself, like some kind of anxious control over, you know, myself and my work, and please don't hurt me, and like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's very rewarding working with people and pushing yourself. I think I've said to myself that I feel like I write the best when I'm collaborating with people, you know.
I do want to ask about that because on that record, I mean, as I said, Party self-produced, there are some vocal collaborators. You've got Shrapnel in the mix, you've got Googie in there. Like, given the personal nature of what you write, like you write autobiographically in a lot of ways, I'm wondering, have you over time gotten more comfortable having other vocalists around, and do they understand the assignment kind of coming into, if you were coming into a project like yours, which can be heavy in places?
Yeah. Everyone understands the assignment, you know, they're all, if I'm reaching out to them for the, like, I either know this person, or like maybe I haven't worked with them before, but like I've at least talked to them, or like I know they know me kind of thing. So it's like, I know, you know, we have someone in the middle, but like, it's never been hard, cause everyone's like-minded. I tend to kind of steer a little conceptual when I do, collaboration tracks, because I feel like that kind of makes things a little easier. But at the same time, like Inner Voice is kind of just like a regular Duncecap track, with Lord Queso on it, but like it has kind of a more of a bow to it. I don't know, but it's never daunting. It just depends on what it's actually about, you know. I generally say like on the track with Shrapnel, it's called Ambitious. You know, it's like, hey guys, this is generally a free write, but like try to gear it towards ambition and starting out and loving this. You know, it's like, I also like, I think with working with people, you also need to understand that everyone's an individual, and like to keep I don't want to say a leash because it sounds like, I don't know, but like to let people do what they want to do, but also steering them a little bit, you know, because there's always just like a way to package the concept. You know, it's like, even if you write 3 different things, or 3 different people are writing like 3 different verses, you could still find an angle to be like, oh yeah, we're all on the same page right now, you know? So I don't think it's hard.
And how does that work kind of when you're in a production capacity? You know, you were kind of leading into this, but like with Fatboi Sharif on Psychedelics Wrote the Bible, which came out a few months back. Yeah. This is not your typical summer album in terms of its vibes. It is not. And Fatboi Sharif is not your typical rapper.
No.
So from your perspective as a producer, what then clicks in your head that says, this is how I'm going to write with somebody as unique as that? How I'm going to work and help them get what they're trying to get out as well.
So like for producing for Sharif specifically, anyone who's worked with Sharif will tell you that like he knows what he likes, and he has a great way of working with folks to, you know, I think push everyone to make something that's like completely out there.
Okay.
He gets really excited. So with that project in particular, it's like, hey, I have these, you know, X amount of beats that I think are in the ballpark of what I think Fatboi Sharif is, or like would rap on. And then he goes like, you know, I'll pick these beats, but also, you know, let's tweak them there. In terms of like getting Sharif on the project, like Pay or Dispute,
yeah, right.
That was a Head Trip beat, and I don't know, I just kind of like, I feel like with a lot of collaborations, it's really just kind of gut check, like, oh, you know who would sound really great on this? Like Sharif. Or like, you know, I want to work with Sharif. We've been doing stuff lately together. Maybe it'd be cool to get him on a track. This works there. I guess there's sometimes I worry with my own production that like it's too weird, you know, because it's definitely like wonky and strange.
It's not a problem with Sharif though.
Not a problem with Sharif, you know, but there's times when I worry about collaborating in that sense, but usually it's either like, this is cool, or like, all right, you know, it's not, you know, it's not that deep really, you know. I think once you take out your ego a little bit, it's much easier to work with other people.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this. Might be a bit of a touchy subject, but maybe on a need-to-know basis.
Hey, yo.
But I hear you've got a new album coming out this fall.
Yes, it's true. That's cool. You're clever. You're good. You do this well.
And what's it called?
It's called The Need to Know. That's why he's so good at what he does.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's coming out in October, a new project. Steel Tip Dove produced it all, coming out on Fused Arrow. Very good. I think it's my best work.
Right.
And feels like a more mature Dunce. The beats are crazy. Songs are good. Yeah. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, so tell me how did you guys get together for that one? How did that work out?
I don't even know. I think we started trying to make beats together at one point, or maybe he gave me a beat. You know what? Dove definitely gave me a beat that was going to be on Pay or Dispute, actually. And it didn't happen. Or the song happened. I just remember I was kind of on the fence whether I wanted to use the song or not, if it fit on the album's sound. Okay. And then I remember, like, he could be forgetful sometimes, and I played him the song, and he was like, this beat's fucking weird. And it's like his own beat. And I was like, okay, like if he's saying that, then I'm just gonna like cut this track. But yeah, that was a song that never happened called Procrastinate Sleep. You ever stay up late because you don't want to wake up in the morning?
Constantly.
It's a song about that. Well, it doesn't exist. And it's not on this new album.
Yeah.
But I think that is why I think that is how we first started working together.
Okay. That was the impetus for it.
Yeah. And then like last year, the year of 2023, I wrote, mixed and mastered this whole album. Or, you know, he mixed and mastered it.
Right. Did you go to Dove's? Did you actually read that? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually I recorded maybe half of it at home.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be that guy sometimes where I just like need to like do a million takes, or like I'll do like a demo, then a second demo, then the third demo is what I feel like usually I'm happy with. That's like the system that worked for the last album.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it's a super cool project. I'm really excited about it.
So expect that in October, right?
October, yes. I truly forget which day it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
But it's a beautiful, convenient day in October.
Yeah. And some good guests on there too.
Yes. 2 guests, same song, Sketch 185 and Dose One.
Right.
Which is really cool.
That's a pretty good pairing too.
Yeah. I know, like...
I will, just to break the fourth wall for a minute, I have listened to this. I have been privy to this album.
Wow.
So I have heard that song.
Fourth wall broken.
It is a wild track.
Shattered.
I have to.
Jeff has also heard.
Also, Jeff, when he wants to get into the conversation, he recently got his candy privileges back. He's just putting his thumb up. Wow. He's also proving of it. So yeah, how does that happen? Is Dose One in town? Like how does this come together?
So I met him recently. Listened to him growing up. Crazy legend, so talented. Oh, like crazy talented. What a legend.
Yes. Framing appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah, super nice guy. Fun to kind of hang out with. I don't know. It comes. I'm trying to figure out how much I could talk about because it also connects with other stuff. So you know, whatever. I think that's.
But you were someone you listened to his stuff back when you were.
For sure. Yeah. Dose One or themselves or them. So like super fucking. It's like such an honor to be in that company. I was like overthinking it too because like Sketch is a complete monster, like on the track, and obviously Dose One is too. And I know Dose One. I mean, I know Sketch also, you know, likes Dose One, and it's just cool to bring them together too. And Yeah, I don't know. Cool track. At first I was kind of like worried, but it's okay. You know, it's cool because, you know, like I started the song and it kind of sets up the whole theme, and it's cool just to see like people that you're friends with and people you look up to, like kind of following your lead on the creative. It's really cool and humbling.
Speaking of creativity, even people who aren't necessarily as familiar with your music, and more people should be, but a lot of people have seen your videos.
Yes.
Specifically the videos that you do for an untold number of indie hip hop artists.
Yes.
Under the Duncecap brand, if you will.
I do a lot of music videos.
So how did you get into that in the first place? How did that become a thing that you did?
That's fun. So the first music video I ever did was okay. It's not the real first video I did, but it was a parody of a song for my friend A.B. Go Hard.
Okay, yeah.
The first real music video I did was a music video for A.B. Go Hard. And that's kind of how I started doing music videos, because I was doing music with him in like high school a lot, in like college, and he was putting out a ton of solo material, and I do videos and we're friends, so I would do a ton of videos for him. And that's really where I kind of like cut my teeth and learned how to shoot on the go, shoot with very little planning. You know, some of my favorite stories to tell are ones where like AB would be like, hey, like, come here at this time. And I'd be like, okay. And I'm there at that time. He's not there. And then he kind of like pops out like, you ready? And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what are you talking about? So like, I think just like doing that stuff really helped me think on the fly, make something out of completely nothing. And almost, since I edit a lot of these videos too, I think there's a fun challenge in that too, where sometimes it's less fun than others, but pushing your own creativity when you have nothing is very, very satisfying, and in a way to make you grow as an artist too. And, you know, I think restraints are always good for that.
Are there any particular experiences you've had in terms of doing this for that sort of, you know, seemingly zero budget in some of these cases? Like you're not working with like some record label money to make this thing happen.
Seemingly zero budget? What are you talking about? That never happens.
Yeah. Anything that really kind of stands out to you experientially is sort of like, I can't believe we were able to pull this off, or I can't believe this fucking happened to us.
So there's like some really, I would say, blatantly irresponsible things I've done with cameras, where like I would just say, okay, blatantly irresponsible, maybe not, but like blatantly precarious, yes.
Warranty voiding, perhaps?
Warranty voiding things.
Okay.
I have broken cameras before, and that's not cool. Usually it's like, I've broken a couple cameras with water. There was a song called Sometimes I Walk in the Rain that was on the project at Miserable Den. And I had a video where every time it rained, I would like run out in the rain with a camera and then just kind of selfie perform the song. And then that's how I broke my DSLR.
Jeez.
But the footage came out not cool enough to use. There was that, there's the video with Sharif where I put a camera in my trunk and like kind of drove away, and you get this like really cool tracking shot from like down Pine Barrens Road. That's in not the Fetus video, the Psychedelics Wrote the Bible video. I did something similar with Elucid for that video he did recently. And I think the next thing I think of is there's this really cool video for Bedlam. It's really cool because I did it. And it's not really cool because I did it. I just had a fun time. We put a projector on my car, and we had this whole thing where it's like we shot the performance video inside, then we projected the performance from inside on the street as we drove around, and I filmed the projection on the street. And that's an idea I kind of want to like steal again and do, because it's like, I don't know, it was texturally very interesting and satisfying to watch also in like a candid way, because we drive past people and they'd be like, what's going on?
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say most of the time I'm trying to think of like dirt cheap, just like random crap, just like, I don't know, any video that's kind of shot on a corner probably doesn't have a big budget.
Yeah.
If it has cool effects, that means spend a lot of time editing it. So
the budget doesn't seem to matter much anymore. Like I even see like all these videos, like these drill artists you're doing, these teenagers you're doing, and it's like I know what programs they're using to create certain effects, but like they're just this is a bodega.
Yeah.
They're shooting in the bodega. They're shooting in front of the building. Like it's not like they're doing these like exotic locales or anything, or really working with much budget either. So like
yeah,
I guess in this sort of like. You can record it, edit it with software, put it that's commercially available. Put it on YouTube. Like, does it matter necessarily? I mean, I'm sure you've been in plenty of these situations where it's like, does it actually matter?
Well, it doesn't. Okay, so there's kind of like two parts to this. The first part is like you can make anything cool with whatever budget. Period. Absolutely. I like shooting on the street because it's accessible, it's free, and also it really does its part to tell a story about the artist themselves, or at least the song and the vibe. And there's a lot of, you don't have to pay for locations necessarily. And there's a lot of like local places that if you just ask nicely, they'll let you do that. So like you can get away with all that stuff for free. It's how I've been doing it for over 10 years at this point. So in that regard, you don't need a budget. But I guess when I heard that, my gut was like, oh, you don't need a budget. Yeah, cool. Like, yeah, I'll do your video for free. Yeah, dog. Like, when I have a full-time job outside of doing music videos,
right,
and I do a lot of music videos, and I do them because I like doing them. I like working with my friends. I like working with people that are not yet my friends, but whatever. And I guess budget is basically, money's good to give to creatives is all, and it helps me to like pay editors and other things to get people out their content. So I don't know. It just, I guess the first part is, you could do anything and you should do anything, even shoot on worse equipment on purpose. I like doing that, to show a contrast in just like texture and technology and what it speaks to and evokes.
It's in America.
Yes. Basically all my music videos, Tim and Eric showed clips.
Great job.
Yeah, great job.
Great job.
I want to meet that dad.
If you did have, say, like your sort of classic Hype Williams sort of budget, like where would you go? What would you do? Just eye in the sky. Someone says, pitch me the elevator. Where would you go if I gave you the kind of money that Hype Williams used to get for a music video?
Well, it really matters the song, right? But probably just like people to help on set. Like I do everything, most of these videos, because I try to hook everyone up as much as I can. But I think just like having a lighting crew and having a DP and being able to have one role, like it's like I think because the technology is so accessible, people undervalue the work that is put in. It's like, oh, he can edit it. He has his program. He has a camera. It's like I'm spending like 20 hours of my life. Also, I work all full time every week, for this one video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not getting those hours back. So I forget the point of the question.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you had that sort of budget.
Oh, yeah.
If you were given that, it seems like you say get other bodies to actually help with this process.
I'd say, yeah. Or like to be more intentful by having people and like having the budget to do something, maybe like getting nice locations, interiors, or paying actors to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, I have paid actors, but, paying more actors, more money. And maybe special effects makeup or like a post guy would be really nice.
Yeah.
Just to be like, to really hit those pie in the sky ideas, I'm not really concerned with like, I was gonna say shooting like super crispy awesome, but I'd like to work more into bigger budgets. But I think that's where I would start. Just like there's a lot of value in casting and location, and there's also a lot of value in like makeup and stuff that you could just. It's like people aren't. They feel it and they see and they go, oh, like this is something different or special because they got like an old person in the video, or like this guy's got a pretty intricate mask on or something, like I think working with those small budgets and where I would put it first is just kind of ideas that cost a lot of money that you could still have a cheap production around.